What's going on, everybody? It's Darkstrider, and we're playing another NES classic. We're playing Double Dragon 2 The Revenge. This was on the original Nintendo. Shout out to Slick for suggesting it. I did have a lot of fun recording this. This is going to be kind of awesome. So we're playing it on one-player warrior mode. This game actually was two-player, unlike the original NES title. And unlike it, you could do a bunch of extra moves. You had an entire skill set. One of the most confusing things with this game was that they still maintain the same sort of, if you're facing right, the button on the right actually allows you to do the punching, and the one on the left does the kicking, and then if you face the left, it's the opposite direction. And I've got a turbo pad added, so I am beating the living daylights out of these guys pretty quickly. The uppercuts are going nicely. Another wild thing about this game was it introduced that hurricane kick, that spin kick, that Billy and Jimmy Lee could do. And if they were standing right next to each other when they did it simultaneously, it did like a wider kind of version of that spin kick, which was pretty cool. All the characters are pretty much updated. You could recognize some of the characters from the original game. Obviously, they have a different look. This one had way more than 4 missions. It also had like a storyboard as you were going from mission to mission, which was pretty cool. It really was interesting. I remember playing this game and renting it every week when rental shops were like a big thing. I used to rent this until I beat it. I think the one that we had in our place, our town, it was something like you could rent it for like a week or 3 days, and then you'd have to re-rent it, or if you didn't return it, then when you actually did return it, you had to pay whatever cost was left over from like the rental. And as you can see, they had that crazy knee kick that you did. When you're getting up, you just do this knee kick to the face, which was pretty wild. I'll see if I can do it with this guy here. There goes the uppercut. You can do the uppercut when you're getting up as well. Really enjoyed the move set that they had here. A lot of these guys were freaky too, these Shadow Warriors. They actually went all in with the whole Shadow thing. Like, they really did have the Shadow theme. Like this guy, I mean, who disappears like that and then puts himself back together. When you when you do this, like you defeat him, you know he's gone when, you got that second thing going. There we go, mission 2 at the heliport. This was pretty wild. A lot of the jumps, you did have to be careful in this area. You did have to be careful when you were fighting. You could accidentally fall off. Like any of those things, you had to really know that you had to climb that pipe and go up and down. Otherwise, there was a good chance that you would just like fall. You would just get killed. You'd lose a life. A lot of pretty wild things went on here, so here we go. We'll take these guys out. These guys, I think, are like the low pars. The guys with the red hair are the Williams. The women with the mohawks are obviously the Lindas. And then they have like a bunch of extra guys. They have 2 versions of the chin ties. And I don't know, there's a couple of guys that come out with like gloves on and white shirts and jeans. I don't know what their names are. I totally forgot. I remember, like I said, I rented this. I did own it as well. I don't remember the instruction manual. I don't remember if they had it. I know there's a bunch of manual projects out there where they do collect the manuals for you to like take a look at. There we go. We take these guys out. That helicopter. There's like a more powerful helicopter that's going to be coming. And that one's going to be a pain. There we go. We'll take these guys out. The chin ties, they were like 2 different kinds. There were like these ninja chin ties, and then there were chin ties that kind of looked like what we were used to. A lot of this was tricky, especially the jumps. They really went for the platforming kind of side-scrolling thing. It wasn't just beat 'em up. It really got advanced, which I was pretty blown away by. See, these guys are Chintai. They're like I don't know, they're the more advanced Chintai, I feel like. There's like another Chintai, and they've got like lighter skin. But we'll see how this goes. Look at this guy. He's getting away. He's not getting away. It's Double Dragon. They're going to go and get him. But completely wild the way this whole story went down. Basically, the way this goes down in the sequel to Double Dragon, Marion was ended by these Shadow Warriors trying to get to Billy and Jimmy Lee. And obviously, as the title implies, they're out for revenge. So they end up going and just, you know, taking on this whole new shadow group. There's like this master illusionist who's at the end, and he is the leader. You had to actually get good at this game if you wanted to find the leader, though. What I'm playing on, I believe, is Warrior. I don't think that at the end of this is where you get... Oh my god, look, it's Machete. It's Danny Trejo. He's an Abobo. That's wild. Alright, so, yeah. At the end of this, I don't believe I'm going to fight in the last boss. I believe that the last boss is only on the Supreme Master level, which is supposed to be like the hardest level. And it's actually, you know, like it's pretty cool when you find out like what happens at the end there. So yeah, they're out for revenge. They're going to fight the Grand Illusionist, and they basically they're just, you know, like doing the same Double Dragon thing. What's pretty wild is just the fact that, like, you know, like they really went all out for this. Like I said, there's more levels than what they've got. There's like 7 levels or something, which is pretty cool. I really did appreciate it. A lot of different things. There's like another illusion that that you fight, where you kind of fight yourself. They kind of explain you fighting yourself, which I think is pretty cool. You know, like they instead of you fighting Jimmy Lee, now the brothers are reunited. They're friends again. They're working together to get revenge. And what they end up doing was they basically are fighting together. They do have an illusion at the end where it's like a shadow version of Billy and Jimmy Lee. If you're playing the 2-player version, oh my god, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you're playing the 2-player version, then you actually end up with you know, like both players going up against their shadow versions, which I think is pretty cool. You know, it was just, it's a wild game. Honestly, the main thing that they really focused on here was a lot of like traps, a lot of platforming. The platforming is what really gets you in trouble. Some of the traps as well. This, what I'm doing here, right above me is spikes. So what I'm trying to do is actually punch the enemies and have them go into the spikes to weaken them, to like actually take them out, rather than, you know, like wasting a lot of time just fighting them. As they go up, you'll see I uppercut them, they hit that ceiling, and I mean, that's major damage right there. So that's what you want to do. You definitely want to, oh my god, Danny Trejo again. What you want to do though is avoid, like, especially with the Abobos here, this guy will pick you up and toss you, and if you hit the ceiling, like, you're going to take some serious damage. So make sure that, you know, you're avoiding all that. This right here, it took me forever to figure this out. You just go down, go there, and then go up and try to get into this thing. If you try to go on the conveyor belts, there's a good chance that you'll just fall. You'll just get hurt, which is really wild. Okay, so here's the Forest of Death. So it does have similar levels to like the original, where we had, you know, like the forest, we had the industrial zone, we had the city zone, and then we had the base. So this breaks it down into like several other spots. You know, we just went through the city zone, where in like we passed the industrial zone. This now is going to be, you know, like a forest reclamation zone, which is pretty wild. And then you'll start getting into like the base, and they have like a mansion in the woods, basically. It's a shadow mansion, and we'll see what goes on there. This, like I said, the platforming, really hard, really tough. You could do it if you pay attention, though. If you're very careful, you'll be able to do this with no problem. It's just really scary, though. It is a really scary spot. I hated that one. There's also going to be, like, when we get into the mansion, you'll see another scary spot. That one is annoying. It gets out of hand. But we'll see it. We'll see everything there. We'll take these guys out, and then we'll climb this vine. We'll get up there, and then we'll just what do you call it? There's going to be, like, more enemies up here. That's one of the craziest things is all the enemies, man. They're, like, really dangerous. Like, a lot more weapons as well. You've noticed that they have, like, dynamite. They have knives like the original one. They have chain whips, which is different from the original one. Similar at the same time. You do have bats. They have steel pipes rather than the bats. I don't believe they have any rocks or any boxes that you could toss, but they do have the sticks of dynamite. That's new. They also have, you could like actually throw the pipes. They do have grenades. The women carry grenades. These are the other Chintai that I was talking about. The women carry grenades. You could pick up those grenades and toss them back at them if you are quick enough. And when you get the grenade and you toss the grenade, you got to make sure that you pick it up and toss it quickly, otherwise it will blow up. It's wild the way they did this. There was a lot of really insane, innovative things that they did. Honestly, as far as graphics, you could obviously tell that the graphics are way better than the original one. You know, it actually has like a really, I don't want to say a deep story, but it does have like a bigger story than the original one had, where you just went and you know, went to save your girlfriend. In this one, you're actually going and you're not just, you're taking revenge for your girlfriend's death, and then you're also, you know, like there's like a whole bunch of like different story elements where, you know, like you're fighting this illusionist shadow and all this other stuff. The ending is like really wild. Again, like I said, I gotta watch out for that. Like I said, this one is the warrior path. There's a practice path, a warrior path, and the supreme master path. So the practice path, I think it's only like the first stage or the first few stages. Nothing really big. You're really not going to you're really not going to go far in that. It's kind of weird the way that they did that. I guess it's just for you to like get used to like Double Dragon. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger again. It's just for you to get used to it, for you to get used to like the gameplay and whatnot. The warrior path, you could get all the way to the end, but not to the final boss. And then if you get to the Supreme Master, if you played that, you'll get to the final boss. And when you get to the final boss, that's a massive fight. So this one, these platforms, man, as soon as you see them like pop up, you gotta jump. That was the crazy thing about that. Like, as soon as you see a platform disappear, you could jump onto the next platform. For that one, at least. The next few, like later on, they all stay in place and everything. Or they don't stay in place. The timing is off a little bit. You just have to find the pattern. This thing was like really crazy. I remember a friend of mine, he actually got a Game Genie, and he ended up making like the platforms stay in place so that he could jump with no problem. You know, like the enemies, he did something with like the enemies where like it was like one hit and they go down. Game Genie was this stuff back in the day. It really was. Game Genie was so wild. I didn't want to use the Game Genie because I know a lot of people were complaining that like their cartridges were getting like busted up and broken and whatnot. So I wanted to avoid all that. All right, so now this one, what you got to do is you got to time the jump. So you jump before it disappears. There we go. Again. Again. One more time. And we got to get over there. You don't know how many times you'll get to the top and then you'll go to jump and you'll miss the jump. And you'll end up like hitting the ground. So now this is wild. He hears Marion's voice. They keep changing Marion as well. I hated this one. This was such a pain. You got to be real careful there. Look, I almost died. That was crazy. So now this, oh yeah, the platform is moving. It's continuously moving. It's gonna like fall down. If I get knocked in there, it's over. If this guy gets knocked in there though, it's over for him. So let me see if I can make this easy on myself and like knee kick him into like the thing over there. That would be cool. Oh no, he wants to continue to play. This platform is not gonna last forever. It's here for a limited time like the McRib. Let's get this out of here. Come on, dude. There we go. Yeah, buddy. I love that hyper knee kick. That thing is the stuff, bro. There we go. Oh, I hate this too. Now we're playing Castlevania. You gotta jump on these things at the right time. Hope that they don't throw you, you know, like either into the spikes or onto like the lower gear and onto another gear leading to the spikes. Look at that. Messed that up. Okay. Yeah, the platforming was kind of wild in this game. I thought that was like really weird that they had all this. Oh my god. Ooh. Almost, man. I almost bit it. That was not going to be good. The platforming in this game was just a weird concept to me. It really was. Because I'm not used to playing Double Dragon where you had it like that. But I think that what they did was they wanted to I mean, obviously you want to make it different, you want to make it fresh, but at the same time, you know, like they wanted to compete with everything else that was going on, all the other games that were like platformy and stuff. There we go. Let's get these guys out of here. Knock them. Yeah, they get affected by their own stuff. They could get hit by the bats, they could get hit by the whips. They could get hit by, they could blow up by their own bombs, by their own grenades. It's amazing, like, how they did this, where, you know, like, the enemies could affect themselves with their own stuff. I thought that was cool. There we go. Let's get rid of that guy. And let's go in here. Alright, let's take these guys out. Oh, the knives. If I wasn't there and that guy was there, he would have got hit by that knife. That would have been sick. There we go. Come on. A lot of this is, you know, just pacing. Like, you really have to pace yourself. I found it easy with, like, a turbo button so that I could just punch. Like, they, you know, in the time it takes them to get up, like you saw, I'm beating the heck out of them. He really has no recourse. He has no way of like countering that, except for like, you know, these grenades or whatever, like these fire bombs. I mean, he could use that to his advantage if he wants. But even the Chintai, like these guys, even could be taken out with just the punches and everything. And I like when I go to get up, immediately hitting the button as you're getting up. That's how you do the uppercuts. That's how you do the hyper kicks and stuff. That knee kick is sick, though. The amount of damage that thing does. Here we go. Arnold Schwarzenegger's back. It's Arnold. It's not a tumor. I am here to terminate you. Which he wants to do, but no dice, bro. No dice. Going down. Yeah, this game was so sick. This game was definitely one of those games that like my brother and I played together at the same time constantly. This was definitely a two-player game. I can't remember if it was something where you had limited continues, and if one guy kept dying, because I know my brother, he was, you know, like younger, he was like 6 years younger than me. I can't remember if he used all the continues and then we had no more left, or if each person had their own set of continues. That I don't remember. Actually, I don't think there were continues in this game. I think once you were dead, you were dead. I think that's how it was, and then they did the same thing with Double Dragon 3. Double Dragon 3 was also one of those things where, like, if you were dead, you were dead. There we go. Let's go down. And we'll fight the rest of these guys. There we go. It's Arnold again. Arnold's back. Schwarzenegger. I do like and appreciate the way that they changed a lot of the graphics. Danny Trejo's back. Like how they made the characters different and stuff like that. You know, it's not the same sprites. It's like a sprite refresh. Billy and Jimmy Lee are different looking. I mean, they're obviously, you know, the same character model, just different colors. You know, like a palette swap on the clothing, but all the other characters, they're basically refreshed, which is kind of cool. Alright, so this would be the end right here. This is where you beat these Chintai, and then afterwards you beat yourselves. And then I believe you go into that back room, and when you go in that back room, that's where you fight the Illusion Master. And he's like the supreme being. And then you get like the real true ending. Believe it or not, this is not going to be the real true ending. This is just going to be me whooping the butt off of this thing. So yeah, once you defeat this shadow version of me, that's it. It'll give you a title screen or an end screen that says, you know, if you truly want to get to the end, you got to beat the final boss. You got to play on the Supreme Master ranking. And I did do that. Go and check on my Dark Retro channel. I have the full thing. I have the on Supreme Master. It's pretty nice. And then, you know, it has like the true ending. You see everything. But I'll end it here because it's ending anyway. That's all there is for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe here and at Dark Retro. Until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Here we go. Look at this. This is the ending that's going to jerk you. Da-na-na-na.